Hello everyone, it's Michelle at Divine's Purpose. I hope everybody is well. It's so funny how Spirit has led me to do this video. So this video is really in regards to spiritual awakening. And if you follow me, I'm an intuitive healer, a shadow worker, a clairvoyant that does past life regression work and more things than that. I'm really trying to live in purpose as a divine feminine. Now, Spirit is guiding me to do something that's a little bit more on the reality plane, the 3D plane, in regards to what spiritual awakening really is. And there's so many lingos, there's so many labels, there's so much to learn that it can be kind of overwhelming. So I'm kind of grateful that we're going back to the basics with this video. So if you are new to this journey, welcome. The one thing I am led to say is welcome to yourself. Welcome to understanding why you're here and understanding that you have a role here and a mission here, excuse me, that is probably bigger than what you even realize. Now, I wanted to read this because I channel as I'm a messenger. That's what my throat chakra. We all have chakras, and the throat is when you start talking, things want to clear up. But I brought this up off of Google. Spiritual awakening then is an awakening of dimension of reality beyond the confines of the ego. The ego is our exclusive sense of self or I. This awakening occurs when, for whatever reason, the ego somehow lets go so that a higher self or spirit can arise within. So I'm happy that, let me just put my phone on silent because my phone always blows up. So I'm happy that I read that, because the thing is, we have to understand something, my loves. Ancient spirituality is something that is in our birthright. We all have spirits and energies within us. To those of you who understand life, when you were born, your spiritual higher sense dies. And when you physically die, you return to spirit home. So you have to understand that this is deeper than the human flesh, and they talk about ego as such as the human flesh, the lower dimensions. I am going to try to gradually bring in some energy cards while I do this, so you don't only hear me ramble on. But I want to give you guys an update on this energy because we have come into the new moon in Gemini, and there is a huge shift that is occurring. I do believe that a lot of people will start awakening. And when you do awaken, brand new beginnings, here it is, there's the confirmation, Ace of Wands, brand new start. It's not always easy. And we have to understand there's so many lingos and labels, and there's a lot of wisdom that comes with this. The power of the mind connected to your heart and your soul is a very powerful trilogy. But there will be activations. There will be ascension symptoms. There will be change. And you have to understand that sometimes, I'm trying to go back to when I started awakening. Sometimes it comes out in regards to conspiracy theories, love, relationships. If you are one who is on a spiritual journey, therefore you might find, a spiritual divine counterpart that will be a catalyst to your awakening, meaning that they will really show you why you're here, and it will be very destructive and fast through a heartbreak. A lot of bloodline ties and understanding family patterns. And I'm getting the Page of Swords, and this is really understanding that you're receiving messages through the motion of your thoughts, of your dreams. Very logical. So spiritual awakening can be very overwhelming because there's also deeper things like your chakras and Kundalini awakening and Understanding the different dimensions and understanding goddess and god energy and the dark night of the soul, shadow work. If you're unfamiliar with these terms, you know, you can pause the video and write things down and do your research because it all truly does exist. And of course, if you are a movie buff or someone who watches the movie, you know, what's trending right now and has been trending for a long time is The Matrix. And they talk about the blue pill, red pill. You know, that's the different realities and the different dimensions. But the one thing you have to understand is that, you know, this has to do with creator, divine, God, source. You can fill in the word you desire to use. But this is understanding that we all are here under the divine, and we are also a part of that divinity. And your spiritual awakening is coming into a physical motion of knowing that you are divine and you have the right to live in purpose. Okay, so I hope that helps. I don't want to keep going. I'm running at 6:06, it says, which is beautiful, which is balancing and which is unconditional love. There's also number of synchronicities that come in. Guys, there's a lot. There's a lot of information and there's a lot to learn. And I'm hoping that you can learn something from this, but I really want to pay attention more into living in your purpose, because all of this awakening is to really clear up the patriarchal system, the toxic, controlling, conditional chains that have been holding us down through the wounded, distorted ego energy. And we want to come into unconditional love and why we're really here. And living in purpose is really simple. It's really to be happy and live in your passions and live in what you truly desire. Wow. And it's time for us to put an ending to things that have been holding us down. I have the 10 of Swords here. This is a completion, a very painful one, as you can see. All 10 swords are in this man's back, and he is laying dead on the ground. The other thing about this I love is all of the energies up in the sky, the planets. This is another thing about Ascension. You also will tap into astrology. When I say there's a lot of information, there is a lot of information. Your intellect and the wisdom that you carry, not only in your head, but also through, you know, your actual soul, because the wisdom really comes from your soul, in my opinion. The older the soul, the more wisdom and the more information you have. This is through the astrology, through the planets, through the stars. There's so much in this one card that's really beautiful. And then it came out with the Three of Pentacles, which is the physical recognition. The recognition of who you are, the recognition that you are different, the recognition that you are, you know, a spiritual being living a human experience. Therefore, the human experience is somewhat of an illusion. And I say it in that way because I know it's an illusion, but I say somewhat because this is for more people who are just awakening and not understanding, and I'm hoping that this helps those of you who are just awakening and understanding why everything's happening at this current moment in time. I will link up a video that I did for the new moon in Gemini, and the reason why I'm saying that is because Spirit has brought me into the Lovers, and the Lovers is the Gemini energy. This is the twins. This is the feminine and masculine. More lingos for you to learn. Just quickly, my loves, we all have masculine and feminine within us. And the key to life is to live in balance. The masculine, you can say, is the left side of the brain, very logical. And the feminine is the right side of the brain, very creative. We tend to bend more to one than the other through what we've been learned and through the conditions through our life. But the key is to really live in balance. And, you know, that's what the Gemini energy is about. Now, there are soul contracts that come in. I have a lot of videos about that. We have twin flames, we have soulmates, and we have karmics. Please look that up if you don't know what that is. I am on a twin flame journey, very beautiful journey in my opinion. And I think it's really powerful to understand who you are and finally come to a realization that this is who I am, this is what journey I'm on, so now I can actually live in purpose. This has to do with communication and travel. A lot of people are actually receiving communication in regards to clarity. Messages are coming in. People are also traveling. I know right now we're stuck, but the travel doesn't have to only be physical. It can also be a spiritual travel, meaning the dimensions you are traveling. Time travel is another thing. Y'all, listen, there is so much information, and I'm so blessed and honored to have been in this lingo and dialogue for almost, how old am I? Yeah, for almost 20 years. And it started very basic. Like it started with conspiracy theories. And that also are messages coming in because there are truths that are going to be exposed. And that's really coming in right now to what people are getting. Please understand, if you are a conspiracy theorist follower, it's beautiful to know the truth so you can come up with your own conclusion of what actually is happening as a logical, free-spirited individual. But please be wary that that is really just also another entrapment of rage, a circle of rage. It took me a while to learn that, so I just like to send you guys that wisdom to understand that, you can pick up what you desire to, but how are you actually moving forward with the information that has been given to you so you can step into happiness and be in your purpose. Don't go into a trap of rage and continuously falling and pointing and judging, because it's not really helping anybody or anything, especially yourself. It just entraps you. Just to those of you who I've been seeing and looking at lately, I see that it's back, and it's for a reason. Ten of Pentacles, your happiness. All of us want to be prosper. All of us want to be abundant in our own way. Now, what does that look for every individual person? I don't know. I can only speak for, myself and to those I'm very close to. So what you desire is what you desire. But this is the thing, living in purpose is really understanding that, you have the right to be happy. You have the right to be abundant, and you have the right to be prosper. And there's so many things that we portray in the society that hold us down, that chains us. And it's a lot of things like racism, sexism, class, all the boxes that everybody would like to put you in. And the thing is, to be in purpose is to literally be free and be happy and understand that we're all on this journey together, and no one is better, no one is lesser. We're all the same. Another message I am getting to those of you who are new to this awakening, especially the young bloods. What is poppin', my loves? I hope everybody is well. I know you guys are all up on the gram looking at celebrities, wanting to be this person and that person. The one thing I can tell you, look, the Lovers is on the bottom of the deck again. Wow, Gemini. Okay, I see. Sorry. The one thing I'm going to tell you guys is that please be wary of what you worship, because no one should be worshiping anybody else except for the divine. I'm sorry if no one's taught you that. No one taught me that. I had to come to that my own, as you have to mostly. This is a journey of self. Remember that, your soul has chosen this specific life for a reason, even though sometimes you may not understand it. Some people have a very difficult time, being in their body and being in their soul and not understanding why they're here. But don't idolize anybody. Just don't. It doesn't bring you any good. It doesn't bring you any anything except for low self-worth. And you're always going to be seeking instant gratifications and validations when you do that. Self-love is also something that I really do preach when it comes to awakening. Really getting to know who you truly are. Let's see. Oh, I had a message when I saw the Lovers card was, you guys desire to be in love. And I just posted something today on my Divine Feminine Club was, do not fall in love. Rise in love, because that's why we're all here. We're all here to rise in love, is to bring unconditional love back, and really hold space for one another as human beings, because we are very blessed to be here at this time, depending on your journey, depending on what you see life as. But gratitude and knowing and, really stepping into your higher self will help you bring you there. So I have the Emperor here, which is a beautiful energy, and the Sun, both masculine energy. These are the lingos that you'll hear also. I'm trying to remember. Some people are probably like, what are you talking about? And some of you are just right on it. This is why I use the cards, because they're tools, my loves. The cards don't have power. I'm the one that has the power. And so do you. Every single person has their gifts. Every single person has their power. Please remember who you are, is what I always say, because the thing is, everybody is special. Like I said, nobody is greater, no one is less than. The cards are just my tools to confirm what is coming in and what also I am guided to talk to you about. Now, the Emperor is a very masculine energy with the Sun here, which is beautiful. The Sun is about happiness, inner child, understanding also that energy as well. But this is really understanding that there is order that has to be taken, or, we're talking about a lot of masculine energy, meaning, yes, we can say father issues is what I'm picking up, masculine issues. So remember when I said to you, there's masculine and a feminine. We have been living in a very patriarchal, masculine, dominant society. And it's time for the feminine, that feminine energy, to really rise up and be the nurturer and be the one who comes in with the love to really balance, because both of the energies are very important. The 2020, we've always said it's the rise of the divine feminine, but please understand the masculine energy is just as important, and the masculines will be returning too. Meaning, if you're watching this and you feel something weird inside of you, you might be a divine feminine and divine masculine. There's also things called Christ consciousness, that is 144 collective souls that have chosen to be here with a soul contract that is coming in to change and shift the world, heal the planet, and put light on this type of topic. That could also be you. That could be someone living in purpose. Really understand that there is so much going on, and a lot is more going on behind the scenes, more than we actually know. And the more you follow your intuition, as we all carry it, the more and more you will receive the answers you need for your journey. The one thing I will tell you here, if you do practice yoga, you understand we have 7 chakras in our physical body, right? If we think about being balanced, it's that centered chakra. So the centered chakra is the heart. And a lot of people are trying to come back to their heart space because we forgot what love was, or someone has taken our heart from us, meaning the world was so cold and scary and dark, and we have lost our hearts. I know a lot of people are in that energy of really reclaiming their power, reclaiming who they are, but it does start with love, and everything else is just icing on the cake, Just remember on that energy, okay? This is very interesting that this is coming in, because there's the 10-10, and 2 10s are completion. As also I say 10-10 is God's plan. If you are vibing to this video, if you're understanding what I'm saying, is that, you have reached a completion of your old self. These are putting down the burdens, and this is the 10 of Swords again, which is the second time it's confirmed. So this is going to be an ending, and yes, a spiritual awakening is hard. It's not easy. I do not like when people just say, we're light and love, we wear beads, everything, we're flying high in that mystical land. Yeah, you know what? That does happen. It does occur, but a spiritual awakening, my loves, is a death, and it's a death to the ego. And when you have to die to really put to rest what no longer serves you or who you are anymore, it's actually very traumatic and it's very painful. And this is why a lot of people choose not to go through it, and they run and they run and they run and they run. But, at the end of the day, you can't run. You can't run from what is already yours. You can't run from your authenticity. There's just going to be things happening, like the tower. I always think of this as 9/11 because it was a key aspect of what the world was going to go through without us even realizing it. Not in the physical sense, in the spiritual sense. If you have an imagination, you can understand what I'm saying. And I'm not going to go too deep into it because there's no need to for this video. Like, like I said to you, wisdom and information, especially like information that a lot of people aren't even familiar with, is a gift. And these are type of conversations that I have to have with individuals and people I understand who can hold this information in a sacred space. But the reason why I brought that up is because that is that conspiracy theory emotion again of what's really happening and why is it happening. Things are being exposed and what's really going on. There's different levels and there's different dimensions. And if you just focus only on the physical, you will get caught up in a rat race. You have to also expand your consciousness and expand the way you are looking at things. God has given us eyes for a reason. And if you only use our physical eyes, then unfortunately you get stuck in the physical matrix, the illusion. Open it up a little bit more and go into your spiritual eyes is all I'm saying. Because there's things that are coming in through the motion of emotions. When you really tap into your emotional space and your emotional body, which is the inner child, there's magic there. And there's answers for you to find who you truly are. Okay. I feel like I'm going a little bit too much to the spiritual. So let me just take a sip of water. And let me see where I'm going to go with this. How much time I have? 21 minutes. Y'all, or if you guys are still here, congratulations. I know sometimes people just want short videos, but you got to do what you got to do. I think I'm going to finish off here with some messages in regards to being in purpose. Because once the veils are lifted, there's a lot of information, like I told you, that does come in. I just want to show you the card that popped up. Infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. So if you are resonating with this video, please press like because you are rising up into your abundance. To be in purpose and to live your authentic truth, like literally, like understanding, like for example, I'll use me for example, that I am a divine feminine ting in the twin flame journey. There's a confirmation again. See, take everything. Nothing is coincidental, by the way. Everything is meant to happen for a reason. What just fell? Okay, red angel. I can't bend over, guys, because I had a procedure, and that's going to take me forever to do. What does that say? Physical body. Okay, that's good to know. Physical body. Perfect. Using your physical body, understanding that this physical world, in this physical plane I am on a divine feminine journey, on a twin flame journey. No one and nothing can shift that from me. I know exactly who I am. I know who my twin is. I know what is supposed to be happening in some sense. I don't know everything. Come on, like we never know everything. But what I'm saying to you is that that's me living in my purpose and knowing my mission work and why I'm supposed to be in that journey for what I'm supposed to do. That's what I mean. It's like confirmation over confirmation. Nothing and no one can shift me unless God tells me other things. And that is living in purpose. There is a freedom there and liberty of knowing that, that is me and this is my journey. Like we all have a blueprint of what our life is. The thing is, the more and more you level up in consciousness and the more and more you surrender and trust the flow, the more and more that blueprint, that information that's been hiding from you the entire time will be very clear, and you're going to know where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. That is a gift, and a lot of people kill for that gift, to be honest with you. So remember how sacred that is. And if you can't feel anything right now to be grateful for, you should be grateful to know that you have that type of power to do that work, to go into your inner world and really connect to that blueprint and know that you are here to do something. You are here. And, I'm getting Firewalk number 10 again, another completion, my loves. Remember, every 10 are ones, right? So they're brand new beginnings. This is you going into the fire. This is, to those of you who are awakening, you are just feeling the fire. You're feeling the burn. You are feeling the ascension symptoms is what I'm picking up. And this is just the beginning of purifying what you need to purify to your journey. Like I told you before, the journey is not easy, it is hard, and it takes a lot of time. I did give you guys a number. I said about 20 years. Ding. And this is understanding that you'll always have something to discover about yourself, but it's very worth it in the end of the day. Congealed light, white soul, because there's something that's coming in for you that's really beautiful. And here it is. I knew this was going to come out. That's why I'm laughing. And it's number 38, energy healer. You are an energy healer. Compassion. You are an energy healer. You are someone who's holding the light. You are someone who has to go through this ascension for a greater reason. What does that mean? You're probably saying, like, how am I a healer? Because there's something that you have deep, 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 deep inside of you that has to do with bloodlines and souls. And like, listen, you have something inside of you that's very special. And there's something inside of you for you to share on this planet. Not only for yourself, not only for your family, but to other individuals who need your help to move forward in the same way. And not only that, you have to understand, you can also be healing a lot of different things. You can be healing animals, you can be healing the actual earth, you can be healing other energies that are around you. You know, it really depends how open you are to knowing what is actually going on. But yeah, I feel very strongly that to whoever this resonates for, this is a message for you to really understand that you are someone who is here to heal. And you have, what is that word I'm hearing? You have a calling to your life. You have a big calling on your life. And maybe you were scared of it in the past. Maybe you didn't understand it, because who teaches us this? No one teaches this. No one teaches this to us when we're kids. But there's a reason why we're doing this now. So when we do have our own family, when we do have this new generation that's coming in, they will understand this. The rainbow is the rainbow bridge. Look it up. 4 is masculine, but it's also foundational changes. The one thing that I've been saying recently, which I totally love, is that, you know, we all have ancestors, and we all have to listen to our ancestors from the past, because first of all, they're not happy with us, they're pissed with us. But the other thing is too, is that we are also going to become the ancestors. We're going to become that person that people looked up to and left a mark on, because the future depends on us. We have to stop being so selfish. We have to remember that we're not only one individual person living one individual life, and who cares what we do, because it doesn't affect anybody. You're wrong. I'm sorry, but that's wrong. We have a huge responsibility and a huge calling on our life, and we are the ancestors of the future. Great-grandchildren will be looking up to those of us who step into purpose and mission. You know, this is beyond this life. You're going to leave a mark, but you have to know who you are and why you're here, because this is victorious. You can't take this crown. There's another 10, my loves. You can't take this crown. This crown has already been given to you. When I kept hearing you have a calling, this crown is on you already. You've been blessed. You've been initiated. But it's time for you to really do the work. That's a really beautiful message. I'm going to finish up here. Yeah, see? Because you forgot who you were through the broken heart. This is beautiful. I love this card. I used to hate when it came out because I had a broken heart. You know, when you go through healing, sometimes you don't really understand certain things. And if you are someone on a twin flame journey, you can understand this very, very strongly. But the thing is, you know, a lot of us had to go through this shattering of our heart so it can shatter wide open to knowing what real divine love is. And this is why we're here. We're here to showcase what divine love is through our work, through our purpose, through our mission. And in the end of the day, you know, this is really the energy that we're all focused on. It's the heart. And again, you know, a lot of people like to live in their ego or in their mind or in their body, but we have to remember what's running the ship. And if you do believe in God, a creator, and you believe in your soul, then nothing will be more powerful than what is running the ship. And it's time for us to really heal the broken hearts all over the world, all over the planet. And please don't only think that we're human beings, only ones who are feeling this. There are animals, there are creatures, there are like elements that feel this energy too, because it's been a painful time, and it's time to heal. So I'm happy that Spirit has led me to this. If you do resonate with this, please press like. If you do have any questions, you can comment below if you're open to, or you can email me. All the information is down below. Please understand that spiritual awakening is no joke. This is not for those who feel like this is all hocus pocus and all of the bullshit. This is real, and this is ancient, and you can look back into any history book, any channel, anything. You can look into anything you desire to call for, and you will know that this energy has always been prevalent. So, it just depends how much you are willing to open up to your own self, because this journey is about you. Heal your heart, my loves. Many blessings to you in your journey. If you guys do desire your own session on one-on-one, you can contact me below under services. I hope that this gave you a little bit more clarity of what is going on. And if you need to rewatch it, go ahead and rewatch it and write down things that I did mention. There's so much more, obviously. But this is just the beginning stages. Therefore, write down what you didn't understand or you don't really know, and do some more research and do more homework, because the only person that is stopping you from your own divinity is yourself. Knowledge is key, but love is what's going to set you free. Peace.